Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime and it is time to brawl, and we've got my good buddy here, Slash. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. How about you?
It's going very good. So Slash, you were #1 Bibi last season, right? At least you were like #1 US and like super close to #1 global.
Yeah.
The other guys were some Japanese guys. I don't speak Japanese. I couldn't talk to them, so we got the best guy here ready to give some tips for Bibi. What were you saying? How high did you get, Bibi?
I got to 973.
That's nuts. That's right, guys. Slash is a real pro, and you know what else is a real pro? The sponsor for today's video. Pirates of the Caribbean Tides of War is a base-building RPG that allows you to become the captain of your very own pirate fortress. You can pillage other players' islands and steal their resources to use for your own upgrades, and you can also create or join alliances with other players who also love the game. Because, guys, it's not much of a pirate party if there's only one pirate. Now, it features a rich storyline where you actually relive some of the coolest moments of the Pirates of the Caribbean film series. The game is totally free to play and you can download it using the link below. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to Pirates of the Caribbean Tides of War for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so a little bit about Slash, guys. He's a beta player since day 1. He unlocked Crow on day 2. And you've also got a YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Slash.
Okay, guys, go check him out. He put some stuff out in the past, and it sounds like he's starting up his YouTube channel. So you guys want to see some pro gameplay and stuff, then go check him out. Okay, so one of the first questions that I have right here with Bibi is, how is she in the meta right now? Does she need a buff? Does she need a nerf? Is she strong? Is she weak? Where is she at?
I think she definitely needs some sort of nerf. She's one of the stronger brawlers in the game. I think she would be in everyone's like top 3 or top 4.
That's really strong. I've got to say, I haven't actually played her very much since the balance changes. Did much change from the balance changes? Like, did that make her much stronger? Or?
It made her weaker in a lot of ways, but the added health does help, and she was so strong before that she's still super strong now.
So let's go through each of the different game modes, and you can tell me how strong they are. So, like, how good would Bibi be in gem grab? Like, how often would you play her?
So she's pretty viable. I think I'd run her over any other side in gem grab. She can definitely be outplayed by like some sides like Nita or Spike.
How often do you use her fast run ability to like try and like actually pick up a gem and stuff like that, or do you just like play her mainly as like an aggro brawler?
I play her mainly as an aggro brawler. Usually the games aren't very close, but if it's like 7 and we're like 9 and I need to pick up the last gem to win, I'll just use my star power to go and grab that. And it usually
so fast, man. She's crazy fast. Okay, cool. Oh, I like that. How about solo showdown? At least my experience, she's not like the best at solo showdown because it's so hard for her to finish people because she pushes them back. But what would you say? What would the pros say here?
I don't play solo showdown that much. I play 3v3s, but from getting the star key with her, I can say that I think she's better than average because she can run away from almost any situation using her star power. It's just, if you get pinched, it's pretty brutal because she gets outranged by a lot of brawlers.
Yeah, nobody wants to team with a Bibi. And yeah, she's kind of an easy target for those longer range brawlers. But I can see where you're coming from. She, at least in my opinion, she's really good at getting second place, not super great at getting first because of that. Do you ever play her in Duo Showdown?
Yeah, I've played her in Duo Showdown, and I think she's actually pretty strong in Duo Showdown. You can hide in bushes and come out and like wombo combo some teams, you know? And
I've always wanted to try the Bibi and Jean combo where Jean pulls somebody and then Bibi hits them into the gas.
In Super Elixir, like her super is insane. It does insane amounts of damage. Like you can just like hide next to the bush with the Super Elixir, grab it and just like super someone and they'll instantly die.
Okay, what about Heist? How often do you play her in Heist and how good is she there?
I've played her a bit and she's really good on most maps. Some maps you can't really use her, but she's just really good at like defense, like keeping the tanks away, and she can do like decent amounts of damage on off.
I've also found that there's like a lot of good wall positioning in a lot of heist maps where you can like get lots of hits with her super on somebody.
Yeah, exactly, and you can finish off the safe from like your spawn.
Forever. Yeah, exactly. It's actually not too far off. It's about the length of the entire map there, so that's true. How about Brawl Ball?
I think she's insane in Brawl Ball. Like, it's her best mode.
Okay.
You can save her home run ability to defend and like knock people away when they're trying to go up to the goal and score. If she gets the ball and like the other team wasn't like staying back, you can just run past the other team using your star power and go score.
How about Bounty?
I think Bounty is probably her weakest mode. she's definitely still kind of valuable because she can dodge like one person and like get up to them and maybe kill them. But if she gets pinched by two people, I think it's like almost impossible for her to kill.
And then Siege.
I think she's also insane in Siege. I'm not sure whether she's better in Brawl Ball or Siege. You can use her theme to almost always get like the first bolt that spawns. And like it's just crazy the amount of movement you can have in Siege. And it was such a
big
like
map.
Control meta. Yeah. And it was such a like control meta before, and she just like broke that in Siege.
Okay, so let's say somebody just barely unlocked Bibi, and what would be the first tip that you actually gave them as somebody that's you know, brand new to playing Bibi?
The first tip I would give is just practice like hitting your home run ability against other BBs actually. So you want to try to hit them first before they hit you, and that'll like really help you when you push BB.
Yeah, it's just like Frank, the first person to super wins, and with BB, the first person to attack wins.
A big mistake I actually see a lot of people make is even if you lose that interaction, it's not the end of the world if you get knocked back. But if you like keep attacking, right, then you're not going to win the interaction. But if you wait after you get hit back and charge up your home run ability and then go at them again, then you still have a chance at winning.
Okay, so if you don't win the first attempt at that knockback, then try again later then. You say that that's like a big mistake you see people doing. That's like exactly what I do. I'm like, let's go spam that attack! What about some tips that for anybody that wants to like go from good to great with BB? Maybe they just hit 500 BB and they want to push to 600 or 700.
The biggest tips I have is know your interactions. BB charges up her super in 3 hits, 4 hits if you're like from her super. So 3 hits from her main attack, 4 hits from her super. And she'll be able to win a lot of 1v1s against tanks if you know like the interactions. She kills Frank in 5 hits and 1 super. Also, the biggest tip I have is just like fire off your super and try to like bounce it off walls as much as possible because she gets her super so fast.
Yeah.
Of course, in certain matchups against like all long range, you don't want to do that. You want to save it to try to like kill someone. But against tanks, when you get your super like left and right, just like keep trying to find those bounces because then you'll remember them for next time.
Yeah, memorizing the map so that you know where to use those optimal super positions. Yeah, because there's nothing more satisfying than hitting the same brawler 5 times with your super and then they die and you're like, ha, that was funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, no, that's really awesome. So let's talk about her regular attack and that knockback mechanic. I have a lot of questions about her knockback mechanic. The first thing is, do you ever waste an attack to get rid of the knockback so that you can actually attack someone without knocking them back?
It really depends, but if I really need to kill them, I'll do that. But otherwise, I don't have any problem just knocking them back and going back and getting control.
So the 3 modes that you said that Bibi's probably the best at are going to be Brawl Ball, Siege, and Gem Grab. All 3 of those are about gaining control of the map, right? And so basically what you're saying is most of the time it's better to knock somebody back, even if you're not able to kill them, to gain that control. Is that kind of what you're saying?
In Gem Grab and Siege, yes, but not so much in Brawl.
Okay, so better to get the kill in Brawl Ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Typically in Brawl Ball, there's lots of walls that you're going to be able to hit somebody. So that's my another question is then, do you only try to use your attack when you can hit somebody up against a wall so that you can then follow up with more attacks? Or are there times when you do want to just like knock them back?
It depends on what brawler you're facing.
Okay.
If you're facing low health mid-range brawlers, yes. But if it's like a Shelly or something or like a tank,
you're like, get away from me.
Actually, my biggest tip against people facing BBs is to make sure you back yourself up against a wall when they're trying to hit you. Because if a BB hits you against a wall and she can't run away because she just used her star power, so she doesn't have the extra speed, then you can kill her as a tank.
Okay, so as a tank, stay close to those walls so that you can keep that distance, or you can prevent her from knocking you away. So I like that, man. These pro tips, holy cow. I never would have thought about that. But if you're playing Barley, obviously you wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, but there's an interesting interaction with Barley where because of his star power, if he uses 1 attack, BB doesn't 2-shot him, she 3-shots him.
Do you have any more insight on like what the best way is to actually use her attack?
It's important in Brawl Ball to just stay back and let your teammates kind of like poke at the other team, and then when someone gets low, you just swoop in and kill them. And then lots of times your teammates can just pass you the ball and you go score. And I've had a ton of 30-second games like that. And it's different for every mode, but like in Siege, like there's a lot of games where I can just run around for the first Siege and get the 3 bolts and just get the robot from just running around, not doing like a single attack. Using her star power a lot because it's like super overpowered.
What kind of insight do you have on how strong she is without her star power? Let's say she's level 9 and the only difference is that she just does not have her star power. It's like you've always used your home run bat. How good is Bibi then?
I think she's decent, but I think she goes from like top 5 to like bottom 10.
Okay, so with her star power, is there ever a time when you will purposefully just like not attack so that you can maintain the speed and apply pressure to the enemy teams rather than like actually trying to deal damage to them?
Yes, but not in Siege. In Brawl, when I have the ball, it's very situational. So I'll give you an example. In the background gameplay, there's center stage. So there's this wall around the front of the goal, and if you kill the whole like other team, then they spawn and like they'll try to defend you from going in there. So if you have like a Rico or a Spike on your team, you just like keep like running around the wall, and they keep trying to like go to the other side to defend you if you try to walk it in, and your teammates will just kill them while you're just baiting them with your speed with the ball, and they like can't go around the wall to kill you. Because you're so fast.
So another question that I have for her regular attack then is how necessary is it to manually aim Bibi's regular attack?
I think it's very necessary to manual aim her home run when you're trying to knock someone back.
Okay.
Because a lot of times I'll aim it before they're in my range. So then like I can hit them at like the nearest possible time I can just for like maximum efficiency. And especially against other BBs, like you're trying to hit them first, so obviously. Yeah. But otherwise, I usually auto-aim her attacks.
Yeah, they're super easy to hit. It's like, I mean, she's got freaking like the widest arc out of all of the brawlers in the game. So, no, that's cool. But at least for the home run hit, it's a good idea to manually aim. If
a brawler's out of your range and you're going like towards them to kill them, you should manually aim. Just in case auto-aim does some like, I've had whack auto aims where it just like attacks backwards when the person's right in front of me.
No, that makes sense, especially because she has such a fast movement speed with her star power. Okay, so what about her super? What is the best way to use her super?
There's a lot of maps where her super is amazing. Like at the start of the map, like on some Brawl maps, you can just bounce it and just instantly get your super back and bounce it again. And I've chained like 2 supers and basically team wiped.
Yeah.
From of the game.
Will you ever use a super if you know it will only hit the enemy brawler once?
Yes, to finish off an enemy brawler, like it's still great because like I said, you get your super back in 3 hits. But like a warning, again, you only do that if you're facing brawlers you know you can hit. If it's all long range brawlers that are hard for you to hit, like Spike Rico, then I would try to save it for like the optimal time.
How often are you do you ever auto aim BB super?
Yeah, when I'm finishing someone off when they're 1 hit and I just want to use my super to finish them off, I'll auto aim.
So if you're like facing up against a Frank, you've hit him 4 times, you just need to spam that auto aim. So you'll do that to finish them off, but most of the time you're manual aiming it then.
Yeah, and sometimes when I want to finish them off, I want to hit their teammates, so I still manual aim it, but yeah, you definitely don't want to auto aim it unless you're finishing someone.
Let's talk a little bit about BB's counters, okay? Which brawlers do a good job at countering Bibi?
I think the biggest and hardest counter to Bibi is Shelly, but that's like
she outranges her, and if you get too close, then Shelly just blasts you.
Yeah, exactly. Bibi can kind of counter Shelly before Shelly gets super, but once Shelly is like 1 hit to super the entire game, or like just has her super, then it's over for Bibi. And my biggest advice to counter Shelly is just stay away from her. As you like, if you can, just let your teammates deal with her. But also in Brawl Ball, this is a Brawl Ball tip kind of. If you have the ball, you can actually throw it towards a Shelly right when you're about to walk up to her. And if she tries to super you, she'll super the ball back to you. And you just throw her the ball again and attack her and kill her. So she'll waste her super on the ball.
That's a really good tip against Shelly in general when you are playing against her on Brawl Ball, so I like that a lot.
Yeah, and even if she doesn't have her super, just throw it against her because you charge your ammo faster than her. So you can actually kill her faster if you just throw the ball towards her. Because she has to waste an ammo to get by you.
I like it. So what about like Colt? Is Colt a solid counter to Bibi?
I don't think Colt is a solid counter to Bibi. I think it's a brawler she has a little more trouble killing if it's a good Colt. But I think Shelly's the main counter. Other counters would be tanks. Again, if like you hit them against the wall. Like most people think Frank kills Bibi, but without her super, or I mean, most people think Bibi counters Frank, but without her super, Frank 3-shots her and she 6-shots him. I think. So it's actually way more favorable for Frank. And Primo can do the same thing as Shelly. He just charges his super and just every time you try to hit him with the home run, he'll just use his super on you and stomp you to the ground.
And you've already given tips against playing them, like making sure that you hit them far away rather than up against the wall, so I like that. What about brawlers that Bibi is like a natural counter against?
I think any low range to mid range brawlers, Spike is the exception because his super heals him when Bibi tries to like kill him, so it's really tough. But like with Spike, it's she kind of counters him still, but he kind of counters her.
Spike's kind of known as like that tank killer, and then like you're right, you do have that super and then she'll just like knock him back away, so he's like outside, but she's stuck in the Spike super and stuff. So I can see what you're saying there.
Typically, the easiest brawlers to kill for me are like Piper, Rico, Brock, because it's really easy for me to run up to them.
You can just dodge all their shots. It's so hard as a Brock to hit your shots on a Bibi. She's just like dodges through them left and right. Okay, so what kind of tips do you have playing those brawlers against a Bibi?
You just have to hit your shots, to be honest. With Rico, try to stay in positions where Bibi can't really get to you, and then if she tries to go around, like you'll have the walls to bounce, if that makes sense.
No,
so like I would go to a position where she can't rush up to you in mid because your teammates are keeping her away, and then it's really easy to hit her against the wall because you bounce your shots off the wall. Brock, my biggest tip would be to conserve your ammo. Like when you're trying to shoot at Bibi, only use one of your ammo. So when she's right on top of you, you have 3 and you can do the maximum amount.
Okay, so one last question that I have is, do you think that her knockback is too far? Like it's 4 tiles long. In my opinion, I think it is a little bit too long. It makes it kind of difficult and tricky to play her. But as a pro that's played a lot of Bibi, do you think it needs to be shorter, or how do you think? What do you think?
I might be a little biased because I love Bibi and I love this mechanic, so I don't think it is too far. I think it's a really interesting thing in the game, and if like they nerf it, it won't affect the game as much as it does. And I really love what it does to the game. I definitely think she needs a small nerf, but not to her home run. I love her home run ability.
Okay, so what about any other tips or anything that you want, or anything else that you want to talk about Bibi?
There's like 3 kind of glitches with Bibi that you want to keep in mind when you're playing her.
Oh, okay.
One thing I noticed was if you use your super while you're attacking, it cancels your attack because he has a 1.6. So I've actually lost 1v1s because I was just spamming my auto aim to finish them off because I knew it was 1 attack and 1 super to finish them off. I actually used my super in the middle of my attack, so they ended up killing me.
Yep, that's really important. That's also similar for other brawlers that like Colt or Rico. Their regular attacks got disrupted by their supers because of the duration of their attacks. So that's really important for Bibi. I like that. Good tip right there.
This happens against other Bibis. If you are hit while using your home run ability against another Bibi, so the Bibi knocks you back with her home run, then it cancels your home run because you used it, but it actually shows that you still have it, but that's just a glitch, and you need to wait 3 seconds before you can knock someone back with it. Okay. Like, you'll try to knock someone back, and it won't work. Bibi's the only brawler in the game with, like, she has such a weird, like, attack that if you're, like, kind of inside someone, you still, like, won't hit them. Like, you can miss them. It's, like, hard to explain, but if you're a little past them, then you won't hit them, even though you're inside them.
The hitboxes are a little strange, yeah, and it used to actually be worse, and then they ran a quick patch notes or a quick server-side update that fixed it, but it still is a little bit there, so you definitely do. That's really important, especially when you're facing off against like brawlers like El Primo or something like that that are just like all up on you, giving them the business, you know. Dude, well, thank you so much for jumping on the channel. Really do appreciate all your pro tips on Bibi. I'm gonna go push her to 700 now. I'm just kidding, I'm probably not. But are there any other shout outs you'd like to give to anybody before we end the video?
All right, so I'd like to give a huge shout out to Joker Joe, Toonie, Sean, Z, Second Best, and Johnny Boy for helping me push Bibi this season. or last season.
Hey, well, thank you so much. Once again, guys, go check out Slash over on YouTube. He's going to be uploading some more Brawl Stars content in the future with some pro gameplay, so you guys do not want to miss that out. For now, this is Slash and KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in Brawl Stars.